Welcome back, everybody, to the Art Coach Podcast. We're on episode 28 here. Today, the episode's going to be about what happens when you actually make the choice to make a change about how you act, how you create, how you show up. Because at the very beginning, there's a lot of discomfort. When you decide to advance your skill level, when you try to advance your career, when you try to pursue a relationship, when you try to really do anything that aims up from where you are, okay? And where you're starting from is really an important thing to think about, right? If you're in a position where, there's confusion, there's uncertainty, there's doubt, there's fear, well, then you have a lot of room to move upward, which is one good thing to think about. But when you're in that place, the people who are around you will act a certain way when they see you start to change. And it's really important for us to talk about this because the way that we present ourselves when we start to make changes in our lives is disruptive to the status quo of our relationships, of our community, of everything that we do. And so if you're in a position where you're let's say a rock bottom of some sort. It doesn't have to be necessarily the rock bottom, but it's just a place of internal criticism in a way that, creates encouragement towards something better, right? There's something about what's going on in your life that you want to change. And this can be, like I said, a technical thing where, okay, I just really suck at drawing portraits. I just really want to get better at drawing like a comic book artist. I just really want to get good at painting. My color theory sucks. Okay, if you're honest with yourself about the skills that you have and the skills that you wish you had, right? If you attempt true honesty towards those things, then there's going to be a lot of discomfort when you start to put in the actual effort towards growing that skill and expanding yourself, right? Becoming more than what you are. Resistance and discomfort only really shows itself when you are attempting to do something that's going to benefit you, right? There's no resistance when you say want to go have a cheeseburger, right? Or go eat McDonald's or have an ice cream, right? If you're on a diet, it's like, oh, sure, let's just go do it. You make a compromise, it's really easy. But if you want to go on a diet or you want to go start going to the gym and taking care of your health more, well, what happens? You face the discomfort of the change in your life. You face the discomfort of not having the same habits that you used to have, the discomfort of not having the freedom that you used to have. The discipline is uncomfortable. And so there's going to be lots of discomfort in the act of changing. Now, this can be, like I said, technical, but it could also be a mindset thing. It can be a relationship thing. It can be the way in which you kind of bring yourself forward in your own kind of space and your own ability to just speak truth as you see it. Now, this is a really important thing that I'll say right now. If you act out through your conscience, through the thing that tells you what you believe to be true, right? The voice in the back of your mind, the best story will come to you. Now, this is what happened for me. In previous episodes, I've talked about this. But when I would not act out through my own personal desire, my own personal need to speak up, or my own personal truth that I wanted to say, typically things didn't go as well as they could have. And whenever I've spoken the truth that I believe, things get better. They might get uncomfortable at first, but they tend to get better. So truth seems to crystallize a version of your story that's better for you. Makes sense, right? People say the truth will set you free. Okay. There's lots of cultures, religions, and spiritual teachings that speak about truth. Now, if we bring truth into the artist's world, if we bring truth into the world of the artist, what do we see? We see that if we act through our own truth of who we are, we're able to push ourselves through the medium that we choose to use when we create our art, whether it's painting, drawing, poetry, music, what have you, right? When we push ourselves through the medium authentically, we speak truth. Now, it can be a personal truth, as in a thing that happened to me, right? That's my own story that is true. And then there's also things that you see out in the world, things that you have happen to you in your relationships, in your work, in your life, in the world as such. where you can say, well, I see something here that is obviously a perspective that I can resonate with, and I'm going to say that out loud through my medium, and I don't care about the consequences, because what we realize is that no matter what you do and no matter what you say and act out, there will be a consequence. Whether it's good or bad, it's hard to say. But I've found that if you act through the truth, the consequences always end up in the long run, medium to long run, being better for you than if you were to lie and try to, mold yourself to the reality rather than allowing the reality to mold you. So truth, right? Truth, in my opinion, is really closely tied to beauty. And so if think about the most beautiful thing. Now, aesthetically speaking, genre speaking, it can be macabre, it can be grunge, it can be delicate, it can be classical, it can be pointillism, whatever your genre is, right? It doesn't need to be a specific aesthetic. What makes it beautiful is that there's truth involved in your resonance with it, and your ability to say, I like this, and I am the person I'm the person who decides whether or not it's beautiful. Easy enough. Now, if you truly believe something is beautiful, or you have a connection to it and you act that out, you create more beauty. And so if you're somebody who wants to make a specific type of art, and you allow other things to come in to stop you from making it, whether it's the conversations with other friends, it's the people around you, it's your own mind, right? There's something in there that's causing you to limit your own personal expression through truth, then the art that you create won't be as beautiful, because truth is the most beautiful thing that can happen. Because think about it. Let's try to imagine something that's on a spectrum between false and true, right? Lying and truth, right? Deceit and truth. Now, if you were to try to visualize what deceit and lying and dishonesty is, right? If you just imagine what that feels like, what that emotion, what that frequency is like when you do that, it's ugly, right? It's bad. It has a connotation to it that is dishonest. And so the crystallization of dishonesty is a fragmented geometry, let's say. And when you go towards truth, right, you put the geometry together in a way that is beautiful because it's true, right? It's like seeing a perfectly cut diamond, right? There's nothing more crystallized and true and perfectly in place. Everything, when something is completely true, everything's in the right order. Everything's put together neatly and correctly to what the world says that it is, beyond our own limitation of our mind. And so truth is beautiful because it's the most crystallized version of geometry, let's say. Now, this is obviously a metaphysical analogy that I'm saying to you guys, but I'm trying to get to the point here where if you act through a truth, right, you will crystallize and you will create the geometry and the pathway in your life, the road, the bridge to a version of yourself that will be better than if you use deceit, dishonesty, anything that has to do with not being truly yourself, trying to fit someone else's mold of what you think you should be, being afraid of looking cringe when you really want to say something, being afraid of being judged when you really want to express yourself, right? All of those things are dishonest. If you're changing your answer because you want to appease the masses, appease the population, appease your friends, appease your wife or your husband, then you're acting through dishonesty. And so now let's get back to this again. If you act through truth, the best story will come. But with that, when you aim upward towards the version of yourself that you actually want to become, what happens? The people around you start to see that you're acting differently. They're like, hey, what's up with Sean? Hey, what's up with Bob? Why all of a sudden are they changing their character? I like them in the box that they're in. And so what you can expect, and I've seen this in the clients that I've worked with, I work with them for weeks and weeks, and things are going really well. They're expressing themselves more honestly. They're becoming more a deeper, more honest version of themselves in everything that they do. Their art becomes more connected to who they are and their past and their experiences. And then the people in their life start to say, wait a minute, you're not the person that I thought you should be. Can you get back into your box? And they do this through, ridicule, through criticism, through, are you sure this is a good idea? Through, judgment and doubt. They're imposing their own doubts about what you are doing based on what they're feeling that you should be. And now this can happen in a lot of ways. So let's say you're married and you have a spouse, or you're in a relationship where you have a really close friend, and you start to change and you're like, you know what, I'm going to stop drinking alcohol so I can focus more on my art, and I can instead of partying every weekend, I'm going to go and draw. I'm going to go join a community art center. I'm going to start doing the things I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to be an artist. I've always wanted to do these things, but these other things have been in my way, so I'm going to sacrifice those things away. And now that your friend or your spouse might be like, well, hold on, let me pull you back down so you can stay with me, so I can keep my drinking buddy, so I can keep my spouse where they've always been, so our regular day-to-day experience can be the same. This happens very often, and I've actually lost clients before where they were making big changes, and then it started to actually kind of make other things come up between their relationships, maybe with their spouse, and it made like these arguments that people have been, or these discomforts and these disagreements that have been sitting under the carpet, right? They've been being brushed under the rug for years and years and years. And once you give the person the encouragement to be themselves, to speak honestly, to tell people what they actually think, well, what happens? All of those things that have been pushed under the rug for years and years and years, all those deceits and dishonesties, and yeah, everything's fine, all of those resurface, all of those come back up into the limelight, and a giant eruption of disagreement and discomfort will happen. So through the act of changing from a place of disingenuous action and choice comes discomfort automatically with the people around you, and they will try to keep you down, and they'll try to put you back in your box. And if you're coming back to honesty and they try to do that, you have to tell them, you have to be stern and say, no, this is who I am. It's who I've always wanted to be. I'm going to act through honesty. I'm going to act through the thing I believe to be true in my mind. Now, I might be wrong, but I know that if I continue to act through honesty, I'll be able to have the strength to say that I was wrong. I'll have the wisdom to find the answers, right? I'll have the strength to say I don't know. And I'll have the intuition to go and look for the answers and allow them to find me back. Now, of course, there's going to be, this is a picture that I'm painting in a very well integrated person that's able to see when they're making mistakes. So just because you're being honest doesn't mean you have to be stalwart and rigid and stuck in your ways as well. Just because you know what you think you know, no, you have to be very open as well to exploration and to change and to being wrong. Being wrong is okay, but as long as you're honest in saying, yeah, you know what, you're right, that was a stupid thing of me to do. And you don't dig your heels in and say, no, I did it because of this, I did it because of that, and you just save face. No, you have to always be honest, and that's when you're wrong as well. And so this idea, this isn't something that just an artist does. It's everybody, obviously. But when you do this as an artist, what happens? Your art becomes more beautiful. Your art becomes more you. You become more able to access the creativity that's within you because you don't have the filters and programs that are withholding the information that you know to be true, that you really believe in your heart. Okay? And so if you can do that, what happens? You push yourself through the medium and your art becomes more authentic. And through authenticity, what comes through authenticity? Notoriety, fame, sales, galleries, virality on social media, more sales, whatever you'd like, whatever your disposition for your success, right? Your model of success for your art business or for your art in general. Along with that, obviously the art becomes better. That's a huge success factor as well. So that's a goal that you should always have, is put the art first and make the most authentic and beautiful art that you can. It's honest to you, right? And that means also if you make something that's like, oh, that hand is kind of messed up, be honest with yourself and be like, yeah, I need to work on that, right? It's a continuous striving to be better. That's what makes a master. Okay, that's what makes a master. Now, as you do this, like I said, I had this client, right? I'm not ever going to say that anybody's name on here that I work with, obviously, but they began to change themselves in a very positive way. They wanted to become better versions of themselves And when they did that, it showed also the people around them that they also weren't living up to their potential. They also were being dishonest. And when you show somebody, when you hold the mirror up with your own actions, you change, and it holds a mirror up to the people around you. It shows them themselves, and it says, wait, I'm not what I could be. And that maybe they don't even see that that's what's happening, and then subconsciously they go, well, wait, hold on. I am what I should be. I am doing it right. And they dig their heels in, and they're not working through honesty, and they're not working, through the truth. And what happens? They create friction. They create friction in the relationship. They tell you to stop doing what you're doing. And they tell you to get back in the position where you were. And like I said, I lost this person I was working with for 9 weeks. Huge amounts of progress. The art was just explosive. The amount of creativity, the amount of ideas that were coming to them, the way that they were presenting themselves and bringing themselves in the art business and being able to ask for the sale and ask for the gallery representation. Their confidence was shooting through the roof. And that was too much for their spouse to understand and to acknowledge and to see. And maybe there were things, like I said, that were coming up that would have been pushed under the rug for a long time. I'm not sure exactly. But they messaged me and said, hey, I can't be working with you anymore. It's causing issues in my relationship. Because, and they explained it, because I've been changing so much and my spouse isn't keeping up. They were kind of candid with me, and it's like, that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. People can't keep up with your honesty. They can't keep up with the truth. It's because they're living in that place, and that's okay. Let them live there. Help them through it. Tell them what you're on. Tell them what you're doing. Tell them what journey you're trying to accomplish. Tell them that where you are isn't enough for you. And if you're, work through it in some way, but if you're seeing progress, don't jump back into the hole that you were in. Don't slide back into the position where you were living through dishonesty, through the lack of truth and beauty in your life. So work through it. Work through it with your spouse, with your friends, and tell them what you're doing and say, you're either with me or you're against me. You're either with me or you can back up and watch me fly. That's what it is. You can watch me succeed from a distance, but I'm not going to take your negativity and I'm not going to allow your discouragement to come into my newly encouraged world where I feel as though I'm finally becoming myself in this way. Now, another thing that happens when you really start to do this is that you face your own discomforts as well. And I talked about this with this technical skill, but this is going to be much harder in a way that it's in your mind as well, because as you start to speak the truth, you start to realize that the way that your mind works ends up being a little bit against you, right? Your mind ends up being a little bit against you. And when your mind is against you, it's really challenging because you have an opportunity that comes up and you say, you're not good enough for that, right? A gallery call to action, there's no way I can get into that. Look at all those other artists. Right. You post some videos online and they don't get very many views. It's because I suck at making videos, right? All of these negative self-talk things that come in, get rid of that stuff. You have to work on the way in which you talk to yourself. And when you talk to yourself through doubt, fear, disencouragement, all of these ideas that limit your expression, what happens? You shrink. You become less truthful to yourself. And when you do that, you're being dishonest. You're not too bad, not good enough for the call to action. You're not unskilled enough to ask for that. Your art is worth hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to people, right? Those ideas that you aren't something that you think you might not be, that's all bullshit, guys. Those are all ideas that are programmed into you from your life, right? The scaffolding of your identity is in disrepair. And so you need to also face the discomfort of the things that cause that. Relive the experiences voluntarily, of course. Relive the things that made your thought experience that way. And when you do that, you face the discomfort, right? You slay the dragon, you find the gold. Right, this story, right? It wouldn't be a podcast episode if I didn't bring up a story, right? There's a painting by Raphael, Saint George and the Dragon. It shows Saint George, the dragon, they're fighting. There's a woman in the background, right? The virginal princess, the gold, all that stuff. There's the cave, all of that. Now, that painting is beautiful because, I'll put it on screen here for the YouTube video. The painting is beautiful because it says, I'm the one who's going to willingly face the thing that scares me the most, because I know that it's worth it, because on the other side, even though there's a potential for death even, I will get all of the treasures that my life could ever need. And that's what truth is. Truth is the ultimate dragon, right? The dragon of dishonesty and fear. That's the dragon of your life. And what is a dragon? It's a predator of all types. It's a predator that flies. It's a predator that's on the ground. It's a predator that breathes fire, because fire kills just like any other predator. It's an ultimate predator. It's the archetype of the predator. And what is that? That's fear. The ultimate predator is fear. It's fear itself. And so if you overcome fear, what do you get? You get riches, you get gold, you get the princess, you get the life you've always wanted, right? All of that is encapsulated in the story and in the painting. It's beautiful. Now, what is your dragon? Well, it's self-doubt. It's fear. It's thinking I'm not good enough. It's thinking you're, it's thinking that the people around you aren't ready for you to be who you are. Yeah, that's a big one. If you start speaking your truth, what's going to happen to the people around you? They're all going to be like, oh, they're judging me. They're telling me that I should live this way or that way, because you have these thoughts about how things ought to be. You want to help others. You want to, guide people. You want to be somebody who, like me, is guiding people and helping people and coaching and things like that. It's like, if you want to do that, and that's really what is deep in your heart, then the dragon you must slay is the fear of judgment, the fear of criticism, the fear of losing friends, the fear of causing discomfort within yourself and with others. You overcome and you slay that dragon, you're unstoppable. You get everything you've ever wanted. Every dream you've ever desired is yours. You just have to now walk towards it. And everything else is just a thing you have to do on the way there. It's very, very powerful. And once you act through truth, the dragon falls over. The dragon is nothing compared to truth, because dishonesty crumbles in the face of truth. The sheer beauty of truth, the sheer vast crystallized geometry of truth is all encompassing. It destroys the darkness. It destroys the dark forces. It destroys doubt. It destroys fear when you act through that truth. The beauty around you just becomes ever crystallized. Every moment of your life becomes more genuinely you. How is that not something you'd want to pursue? Now, if you're living in a place where you're not pursuing that and you're acting through dishonesty, you're saying, oh, I'll do it later. Oh, I'll procrastinate. Oh, I'll scroll. Oh, I'll do this. I'll go watch Netflix for 12 hours, right? I'll go drink at the bar. I'll go do the drugs. I'll go to this and I'll do that. And then, it's like, is it working? Is it working? Like, are you getting where you want from doing all of those things that just give you the easy dopamine? Or are you going to offer your life to your craft? Are you going to offer your life to your mission? What is your mission? Do you even know what it is? Find it out. Figure it out. Slay the dragon. This is the most encouragement I can possibly give you. If you act through honesty, the dragons will fall away. If you act, not just say honesty, you act through what you say, and what you act out is overlapped in a perfect way where you become the truth of who you are and what you are. Your conscience speaks and acts through your everyday. Everything that you want will come to you automatically. You will get the promotion at your job. You will get a better relationship. You will find the friends that deserve you. Right? You will get rid of the people who mistreat you. When someone is being rude or crude or angry or continuously abusive even, you will have the courage to say no more. And this is something that is very tightly connected to your personal expression as an artist. If you act through fear, through dishonesty, your art isn't you. Your art is being manipulated and affected by a dark force that is outside of your control. And once you get rid of that, you won't even believe the kind of art that you'll be able to make. You'll be so productive. Your ideas will flow. You won't ever say no to an idea. You'll always bring it to life. You'll always allow it to come true. And as you do that, the relationship with whatever the cause of those ideas becomes tighter. As you act out your ideas and you create them, you make them come true through your medium, you become better at doing that. If you spend 10 years saying no to your ideas, then every idea that comes in is no. And then the ideas just don't show up anymore. Well, what happens if you say yes to your idea over and over and over and over? You practice the connection in your mind, in your body, and in your soul that allows ideas to come in and the excitement to come with them. An idea comes in, you get excited, you get inspired, you get motivated, and then you act. And if you can close the gap between idea and action, you become better and better at first getting ideas and then also acting. So it's like the truth, again, will set you free. You act through truth, and then boom. You make more art, you make more sales, you make a business out of it, you buy a house because of your paintings that you've sold. Imagine a world where you can pay but imagine a world where you can live the lifestyle you've always wanted through the creation of the beauty that you want to make. It doesn't matter if you're a musician, a singer, a poet, a writer, a painter, an illustration artist, right? A children's book writer. It doesn't matter what your medium or what your choice is as long as you do it. It does not matter if you're an expressive and a creative person. If you push yourself genuinely, authentically through your medium, the things that you want will come as a byproduct. They do. Because again, but Sean, what about if you do all of that and still nothing comes? Well, it's because you're being dishonest somewhere. You wrote a children's book, you illustrated it, you made it, but nobody ever published it. Well, you didn't go meet the publishers. You didn't say, hey, here it is. You didn't go advertise it on social media. You didn't go make 300 videos on social media about your children's book and get a huge following so that some publisher sees it and says, I'm going to publish this because I'm going to make millions off of you, right? You need to do the work. And that's what the honesty is. You need to do the work. That's honest. It's not going to just come and find you. You need to do the work. That's honest, right? Honesty everywhere. Truth everywhere. Truth in if you didn't get it yet, it means you're missing something. It means you haven't learned a skill. It means you need help. It means you need a coach. It means you need to take a class. You need to join a community center. You need to join a community. You need to do something to change the thing that you're doing because there's obviously something missing. If you don't have your goals yet, you don't deserve them yet. Full stop. That's what I truly believe. If you don't have your goals yet, you don't deserve them yet. That's honesty. That's truth. Being blunt with you here. Once you get your goals, it's because you deserve them. They were there for you. You were ready. And now you've accepted that truth. You've accepted that version of you as somebody who deserves it. Now you have your goal. You have it in front of you. It's yours. It's been accomplished. That's the truth. If you haven't gotten to your goal yet, you're not ready for it. It's not there for you yet because you aren't in a position where you deserve it yet. That's hard to hear. What do you mean? I've been working so hard. I've sacrificed so many sleepless nights. Okay, keep doing it. It'll come. Some people didn't get their fame and their money and their success until they were 50. I'm not saying it's going to happen for you, but it could. It very well could. And if it does, then that's when you deserve to have it. That's when it was ready for you. That's when you were ready for it. That's how it works. Now, if you want to speed that up, if you want to get there faster, then you need to be honest. What are the parts of my life that need to change? Ask yourself these two questions. I say this a lot. Ask yourself these two questions. What is one thing that I could stop doing today that I know I should stop doing that would make my life better? As soon as I asked you that, as soon as you heard me say those words, your brain told you what it was. That's the truth. Are you going to act on it? That's the truth. Are you going to act on it? Okay, number 2. What is one thing that I could do every day that I know I should be doing every day that could make my life better? Just like that, your brain, as you heard me ask you that, gave you the answers. But instead, what you do is you listen, what you do is you don't listen to that voice. You say, we'll worry about that later. Yeah, I got so many things to do. I got so many responsibilities. I got this, I got that, I got, all these things. No, you're lying when you say that. You're being dishonest when you say that. If your conscience tells you the answers to those two questions and you ignore it, you are a liar. Full stop. Full stop. You are lying to yourself. You are lying to your future self. You are lying to the potential of who you could be. You are being dishonest. That's it. You listen to the answer to that question every day, and your life will change for ultimate better. It will change in a way that you don't understand yet. Now, if you feel as though you've been working very hard and you're like, why isn't it happening? Why aren't I getting my goals? Ask yourself that question. There will always be an answer. Your brain will serve it up for you. What is one more thing I could do that I know that I should be doing? What is one thing I should stop doing? Okay? Do those two things for a month. Ask yourself that question every morning, every night before you go to bed. Whatever that thing tells you, whatever your conscience delivers to you instantaneously in your mind, you act that out for the entire day. You do the thing that it tells you to do. You listen to that voice every single day. That is honesty. That is your truth. Okay? You do that, I'm telling you, I promise you, I swear to you, 30 days later, your life will be better. 90 days later, your life will be better. A year later, your life will be way better. 5 years down the road, you will be a transformed human being living your dream, living the life that you've always wanted because you activated the geometry that is truth, the metaphysical geometry that allows you to bring in the things you deserve through the truth that you act out. Full stop. Okay? Like I said, what will happen? You will face discomfort along the way, and that discomfort will make you ignore the voice in your mind. It will make you ignore your conscience because it's easier to avoid the discomfort and the pain of being truthful than it is to be honest with yourself, right? It's easier to not let somebody down or to not annoy somebody else that you love or to piss them off or to aggravate them or to be honest with them. So you act out a lie, right? Whether it's a white lie or a big lie. This is what's going to happen. The people around you will try to keep you in your box. Don't let them. Be who you're supposed to be. Express yourself honestly. Express yourself to the furthest degree possible all the time. This doesn't mean be emotional and be outburstish and just let your emotional, gravitational pull just bring things in and push things away and, on a whim. You need to bring in the rationality of a powerful mind and an intellectual and wise, kind of point of view, right? Don't just be a hedonist and say, oh, I want to do that. Oh, I want to do that. My mind is telling me, no. The conscience knows what's good and what's bad for you. Okay? So follow that truth and aim up. Set a goal for yourself. Set a goal for yourself that is so damn high that you don't even think it's possible, really. But then do it. Set a goal for yourself that is unimaginable. $1 million in art sales, 1 million streams of your song on Spotify, 1 million followers on YouTube, on Instagram, right? 1 million people impacted by your art, 1 million lives changed by your podcast episode, 1 million, right? 1 million people just helped through who you are as an honest person. Right? What can you do with honesty? You can do so much. You can do so much with honesty and truth. You can do so much. I really, really hope that you do it. I really hope that you allow yourself to do it. Now, remember, like I said, ask yourself these two questions. I'm going to say it one more time here, and then I'm going to end the podcast episode. What is one thing that I should stop doing, that I know I should stop doing, that would make my life better? Instantaneously, your mind told you what it was. It could be easy as stop scrolling so much. It could be easy as stop drinking so much. It could be easy as stop talking to that friend that's bringing you down all the time, right? Tell them the truth. Okay? Second question. What is one thing I should start doing that will make my life better? That I know I should start doing that will make my life better? instantaneously, again, you know exactly what it is. I need to draw hands more. I need to draw portraits more. I need to market my art more. I need to go ask the gallery. I need to go join the gallery, community events. I need to go do all the things. Go do them. Go sign up for the open mic. Go do a slam poetry thing. Go join an art community. Go to a party and say the joke, right? Go expose yourself to the fears that you have about yourself so that you can overcome them and become the better version of yourself. Do it. That's truth. That's honesty. That's what's going to set you free. Okay? Now, I really hope this episode reaches you. I hope that through that long-winded rant of what I truly believe will make your life better, you do it. You get the encouragement to say it, and you don't let the people around you to pull you down when you're aiming up. If you aim up, and you're not letting somebody else's idea of you stop you from your own idea of you. You have an idea of yourself. You have a potential version of who you want to be. Become clear about what that is and slowly start to act as if you're that person, and that version of you will be you. Very, very quickly, you'll be that person. Okay? So, as always, guys, get out there. Go create something today. Go draw something. Go tell somebody you love them. That's creating something. That's creating a moment. Right? Go take a friend to the sunset tonight. It's free. Go pick up your friend, your girlfriend, your spouse. Go bring them to the beach go look west. Right? Go watch the sunset. Wherever you are, the sun is going to set tonight. Go enjoy the beauty that you have around you. Go enjoy it with a friend. Go tell them your dream. Go take your friend to the sunset and say, hey, I've been thinking about this thing I want to do. I want to start acting through honesty. What do you think? Share your thoughts with somebody else. Tell them. Let them hold you accountable for who you want to be. Join a community. Do it with the community. Get a coach. Have them help you with it. As always, guys, go out there and create something. Create, create, create.